up. We haven't seen in a while, but we're back now. So today we're going to talk about something a bit sensitive, but very important. It needs to be dealt with. It's something that we see every day of our lives, amongst our colleagues, amongst our friends. It's abusive relationships. We are going to talk on the signs of being in an abusive relationship. We are going to talk as to why people stay in abusive relationships. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoy this topic, and ladies, let's dig into it. Yeah. What are the signs of being in an abusive relationship? What is that one thing that you
call abuse?
Yeah,
that's a relationship where you're just like, it's over now, this is abroad and it's an abuse.
Yes. We start with Miss Esna.
I think there is physical abuse and emotional, and also psychological. Is it the same thing? I don't know.
There are different sorts of abuse, so you can touch on any that you see.
Yeah.
You see the sign.
So for me, one of the signs I think is when someone is belittling you or putting you down constantly, when you're trying to, I don't know, just making you feel like you're not worthy or something every time you try to build yourself up. I think that's one of them.
Yeah, and personally, I think, or I believe that the instant two people are in something, or if you are in some sort of relationship, and you feel like the next person always wants to bring their part, or they want to bring them before you guys. Like, let's say if you guys are a team, you're almost now us. So when this person continuously is on the emphasis of me, then practically that is already abuse, because this person always wants to bring forth their, it's like they just want to be the ones to be recognized in something. They just want to be the one to be done for something. So in terms of, like, let's say psychological, somebody that makes you feel bad, but then they're actually the ones at fault. Instead of them apologizing, they now make you want to feel better. You are the one that needs to apologize.
Manipulation.
That manipulation, clear then that you know this is abuse. Yes, it's not physical, but it is psychological. It plays with your mind. Somewhere you end up feeling now, so maybe I should have been the one that says sorry, or maybe I should have done this. Maybe I didn't try harder. A person that makes you second guess your decision, that is already one of the signs, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that you guys have touched so much on the emotional or psychological abusiveness in a relationship. But adding on that, or like to just compare to the physical abuse, I feel like, you know, the signs. Some people, let's say before you date somebody, they, by some point...
Sorry guys.
Sorry, I
know, right? Let's go on.
Okay, so with abuse, if I can say, what are the signs? We say, what are the signs and why do I stay? I think some signs are very clear from the very beginning of your relationship. Let's say on the very first date, the person was maybe rude to the waiter just out of nowhere, or they want to pick a fight already with the second party or the third party that you guys encounter with. That's a sign that the person might come off as an abusive person in the physical. And sometimes, before we even make it official with these people, they've already hit you to a certain extent. Maybe not so hard, but you're just like, what was that push, you know? And you give it a closed eye. That's a sign that he might, next time he's going to push you off the wall and not into the wall. Ne? It's those little things that we see and we kind of ignore them. But I like the psychological one. It has so much power. I think physical, you get beaten, and then, not that it's an easy abuse, but you get, it's a sign that you see you've been beaten, and then you find the healing. The psychological or emotional one, it's very draining because you're dealing with it within yourself, and you really need to seek somebody to speak to, or in that order. We both abuses would need somebody to speak into, but emotionally we put a blind eye on it, and then tomorrow you're like, why are things not working? It's because one of you guys are actually an abuser in the relationship. And with emotions, like Esna mentioned, it's a thing of belittling, you're never too good, or the person just makes you second doubt yourself or your decision, or even when your effort comes in, they don't seem to appreciate anything that you do, and they just make you feel unworthy of, you know, yourself or of the relationship. And most of the times these people want to be in control, they want to be in power, and that's why they would then end up abusing you in some sort.
If you know these types of abuse, what do people stay in those abuse relationships? Why is it? What makes you stay there? If you know they bring so much pain.
I think when you mentioned that the person, when you try to bring it out, the person they would then find an excuse, right?
Yeah.
To see why I'm doing this. I think in some instance somebody can be abusive, but when you want to bring it forward, then they are nice. Because then they need to cover up what you're bringing to light.
Yes.
They become so nice that you're like, oh, okay, maybe I am now, blaming him or her for doing this while it's not really the case. Yeah. So you start now taking blame because they find a way to just apologize and get things off ground. And I also feel like sometimes people stay in abusive relationships because that's all you know. You can only be what you know. If that's what you're exposed to and you thought this was the good that I was offered by life or by God or by, this person came to me. And sometimes they have rescued you from a certain point of life or something in that life, and now they feel like they own you, like like people say they own you. But I always tell people they're not your savior, let them find their savior. So you don't need to stay really, but people stay, when they say better the devil suchness, man, you keep on, and sometimes you're afraid. What will society think? We've been in a relationship for 6 years now. Now you're gonna come out and tell people that I've been abused. What will my friends say? What will my family say? What will that one person that once gave you a hint that, man, I think your partner is abusing you, and now you gave it a blind eye,
or
and
you
now
broke up the friendship with that person that
because
told
of
you.
the abuse, and then now you're like, just the thought of getting back to all that, and you're like, no, it's too much work. Let me rather stay in this abusive relationship or something in that line. And just to add like on the types of abuse, I don't, somebody, we once mentioned emotional abuse, financial abuse. There's so many sorts of abuses that go on apart from the physical and the emotional abuse. I think financially someone can also do sexual abuse as well. So there are so many sorts of abuse, but why do we stay? If you know that you're going through all this, why we stay?
I also think sometimes people stay because they're in denial and they try to make excuses for their partners. So they'll be like, no, it's just because he was drunk, or it's just because he was going through something. It's not really their fault, or it's my fault because I answered him bad, that's why he slapped me, or you always hear this from people that are being abused. They always have an excuse, and it's always kind of like their fault. That's why the person is abusing them. So it's not really the abuser's fault, it's their fault.
That's how they make it seem to be.
Or even culture plays a role to tradition.
Exactly.
There's some people that have been brought up that if the person doesn't hit you physically or does not bully you in some sort of way, then he doesn't love you or she doesn't love you as much. And I also want us to refrain from being, most of the times when we speak about abuses, we all look at men. But when it comes to the when it comes to the emotional abuse, it can be also a woman one. And it's really, it can
even
come out. Some women are also physically abusing their partners, and emotionally, I think women can really take that cup. There are men that will break you down emotionally, but when it comes from a woman's point of view, I think it has more weight and it can really just break somebody down, which will then also might lead to another sort of abuse within the relationship. So it comes on both ends. Penny, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I do. Why people stay in abusive relationships? Like Cornelia said, people don't know any better. Now imagine if you were raised in a home whereby people are always hitting each other. Your parents, for instance, are insulting each other, or your aunties or whoever that you look up to is insulting another person. Then you feel, oh, that is the right way of doing things. So you grow into a state whereby you think that this is the right way of doing things, and you don't actually know any better. And when you get actually somebody that actually loves you or that is treating you well, you actually are the one that set up the trouble because you feel no, there is no drama in here. You are used to bottles or stones being thrown at you. Another thing is people have what I noticed is that people have a habit of saying that the grass is actually greener on the other side, but until you get there. Exactly. Now, so they use this type of phrases in the most unusual cases, such as this, whereby you are being abused and you're like, okay, so if I leave this person now, where do I go? So I think the next person will not treat me the same or will treat me better. I'd rather stay with the person that I already know that treats me this way, which is actually very wrong. People need to find a way to stand up for such things. And people that stay in such relationships, there are so many reasons why. Sometimes it can be finances.
Oh, yes.
Nobody's out there supporting me, so who's gonna pay my bills? Who's gonna? You need to maintain a certain type of lifestyle.
Yeah, you already used to those.
You are used to it, so you can't help it.
Yeah.
Ne? So so it's that thing of now. Okay, so
Now
I
you're
can
gonna
be.
stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
because
Exactly, I'm gonna
in
stay.
exchange for my.
For your life.
I mean, I look good. I'm driving something that is a nice car or something, but I'm gonna stay. I don't care. Like it's just bruises.
I actually don't like that excuse.
In the
It's
long
so
run,
wrong,
it
yeah.
damages a person. This is damage property.
Because it's the same excuse that we say, I'd rather have my heart broken in, Dubai,
Exactly.
than it being broken in Kadutura, for example. But in the end, it's a heartbreak. That's what we need to look at it, not the circumstances. And that's where people get to say, no, but the person is supporting me financially. I'm gonna stay.
And
Which is
I
to
also
say,
and I also feel like, to add on, I also feel like people feel like I'm gonna save this person. Look,
Honey.
if this person, if the family of this person couldn't save this person,
Who are you?
who are
You
you?
tried for.
Yeah.
You have been trying. It's 20 years down the
if I
line.
can say that, yeah, some people have hope that this one day this person will change.
Exactly.
And hope is something that everybody sells. Like, you must have hope in something, and you're like, I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm trusting that one day this person will be changed. But in that process, you should also get guidelines of how can we then help this person change, because it's not only going to be about you. Even prayer works with another person acting up to it so that this person can get help. How best can we help this person? But hope that one day that the person will change is also there, and that's why people keep on holding on. But I also always tell people, my friend, you're not the person savior. That's why we all need Christ. We all need, some people, even if you're referring it to your higher power, you are leaning on another sort of support that is not a human being support, which is spiritual, and then that's how you can make it. And I'm like, and you can't be a spirit on behalf of another person. You can't be their guardians. You need to lead them to their place that they can get help.
And you can't live because of somebody else. You can't exist. Your moral existence cannot be because of the next
But
person.
remember, because I'm in an abusive relationship, actually, my life becomes a no life anymore.
Yeah,
I'm living on behalf of this person.
person.
We're actually living the way you want us to live. When you're
exactly.
happy, when mommy is happy, when daddy is happy, then we are happy. You know? It's that you lose. Actually, that's a sign that you actually, when you stay in an abusive relationship, you can actually lose yourself in it.
You do.
And then you forget about you. When last did I just buy myself a pair of socks? For example? When last did I just take care of myself? Because then your life becomes, you just become invisible because this person has taken over your life.
And isolated. And
You become isolated.
isolated, like,
You forget everybody but that person.
Yes.
And
Sure.
And maybe for some reason also because you don't want to hear what people are saying, because you
Yeah.
know it's true somehow.
So
you don't want to hear it, so you isolate
you'd rather not
yourself.
stay with them.
You don't
Yeah.
stay with anyone, you stay away from family. I think that's also one of the signs.
Yeah.
Let's take us back again, but are the signs always there? Just
the signs are
what
always,
if I didn't just see
there.
them? Because you find people that are like, I met this guy or girl, she's such a nice girl and she would cook for my friends, and then 3 weeks into marriage, you're like, boom, who are you? Like, you just like, maybe the signs were they're not there.
No.
Are they always there? Can I say they were there but I didn't see them?
You were blinded.
You were blinded,
You
or you
disregarded them.
So
when
we're saying
we
we
ignorant
cannot.
about it.
So we're saying don't only act on the signs, act even on when it's there. Sometimes the signs are not there, and then you get into it. You can still act.
Yeah,
like it. In conclusion.
Yeah. So I don't think we exhausted the topic enough, but yeah, there's just so much to say about abuse, you guys, because it's just too serious. It's deep. But in conclusion, I think what I would say is when you are getting to know somebody, or before, if you are in something with somebody, or for me, always look at how this person treats other people. Because if you look at how he treats you, you might not see the wrong in him because you are just my person. But you should see how he treats family, how he treats strangers. That can help you pick up if this person is abusive or has abusive tendencies, such little things. Look at this person in that way.
From let me just say, from a woman's point of view, I know, as I am a woman, yes, I speak for women, but I can also speak for men, but for now today I'm just speaking for women, okay, for men too. What I'm saying is that, look, somebody that can easily throw a word at you that makes you second guess how you dress, how you look, how you feel, you need to address it, because then that right there plays with your emotions, and it plays with your psychological way of doing things, or your way, how you stand there and how you feel. That is just psychological. All that, anything that makes you think deep is psychological. So beware. If you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't say anything good, you bought something new and this person just goes like, oof, you think you look nice or what?
Yeah, like
that
the way they put it, it's not even...
That is abuse. It plays with your emotions. It's psychological. So beware of that and just love you more. Be able to stand up for you more. That's the only way you are able to identify the difference between A and B. The difference between this is love, this is manipulation, this is nonsense.
From my side, I just want to say, stand up for yourself. When we say why then are you saying, I want to give everyone a right out there, be it male or female. When you are being misused or abused in some sort, please speak up, speak out, stand up for yourself. First, to that person who's doing the act. Secondly, to the next closest person in your lives. Reach out to your circle until you have exhausted all things. Speak to your siblings, to your pastors, to your leaders, whoever, to your colleague, to your any person around you that you can just express and seek for help, so that you can get help before things get to an extent. Speak out, stand out. Sometimes these things go on because you're not willing to stand out, or you're afraid of whatever. You need to live life. You need to live your life. So from my side, just don't sit down on those little things. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for others, and let's help one another get out of all this and live life to the fullest.
I just want to say, this happens to a lot of people, like really a lot. So you are not the only one going through this. So if you speak to someone, you might just be surprised. So just take that first step. And also just want to put it out there as a disclaimer that we are not psychologists or psychiatrists or whatever we call them, but this is just our opinion, and I think we're gonna carry on to the part 2 because this is not done. Yeah.
Continue following us, like our pages, subscribe, and please comment. We want to hear from you guys. We love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And honey, love you more.
Until next time, guys. Thank you.